All-Star Game, the World Series, the Pac-12 Championship, the Big Ten Championship, the NFC Playoffs, the Daytona 500, and the UEFA Champions League Final. The world's biggest events are on Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports!
Welcome to the Chevrolet All-Star pregame show on Fox.
What's it mean to be an all-star? It's about getting voted in by the fans. Over 7 million of them.
It's about repping those pinstripes on the big stage.
It's about being teammate for one night with players wearing pinstripe.
This game is all about smiling.
It's about doing something you dreamed of doing as a kid.
It's all about playing in your first all-star game.
It's a night where a prince is bigger than a king.
Let's not forget, this game is for home field advantage.
It's about playing in front of that hometown crowd. But most importantly,
This game, this night,
It's for you, the fans.
It's the All-Star Game on Fox, and my first pitch is coming right up.
For the first time ever, the All-Star Game hits the desert, and the crowd here in Phoenix, Arizona is ready. The best of the American League face off against the top players from the National League. It's the All-Star Game on Fox. Sure, it's 101 degrees outside, but it's nice and cool inside the dome. A very comfortable 72. And look, we even have a nifty little pool in our backyard. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the 82nd All-Star Game here on Fox. I am Chris Rose, joined as always by the Los Angeles Dodgers all-time home run leader, Eric Karros. And Eric, it really was a fun first half for a lot of fans out there. 16 of the 30 teams are within 5 games of a playoff spot. But tonight, it's all about the individuals and their chance to shine.
Well, and you know, there are a few individuals that I'm looking forward to watch tonight. Specifically in the National League, Matt Kemp, the fine center fielder for the Los Angeles Dodgers. 2 years ago, he won a Silver Slugger and Gold Glove. But this year, boy, he has arrived. He is in the top 5 of all Major League Baseball in home runs, RBI, and stolen bases. On the other side, Robinson Cano. We saw him last night win the Home Run Derby. This is his 3rd All-Star game, having another great season for the New York Yankees.
We got to get out of the way during the game because we saw the damage they did here last night. We're right in the line of fire over here. Well, as we saw last evening with Robinson Cano, the ball definitely flies out of this park. It was the NL against the AL in the Home Run Derby. Prince Fielder hit some monster shots, but Cano was truly the star, blasting 32 over the fence and taking home the crown. And get this, he did it with his dad throwing BP. Right now, our 3-time All-Star, Mark Grace, is with the 2 Big Boppers.
Thanks so much, fellas. And first start with you, Robinson Cano. First of all, congratulations on just a remarkable performance last night in the Home Run Derby. What was more special? Was it posting that Home Run Derby trophy, or was it with your father throwing the batting practice?
It wasn't my father throwing batting practice. I mean, he was throwing what I wanted all night, and he did a really good job for his first time.
And what do the Yankees have to do to catch the Boston Red Sox in the second half?
All we need to do is you got the whole lineup healthy and the whole team, and I think we can do a pretty good thing in the second half.
Well, best of luck to you. Prince Fielder on the other side. You had a lot of long balls last night. Your swing, after the 5-for-5 performance in the swing off, that was impressive. Your swing's been great all year. Have you done anything different at all this year that maybe you haven't in the past?
Well, yeah, you know, I'm trying to be a little bit, get ready a little earlier, get my foot down so I see the ball a little longer, and not try to take, not try to hit. I mean, I still swing hard, but I'm trying to hit a line drive, I'm not trying to hit a towering home run in the air, I'm trying to just hit a line drive to the infield. Even though it doesn't look like that, I really just trying to hit as hard as I can, but, like a nice base hit.
Best of luck to both you guys in the All-Star Game and in the second half. Let's kick it back to the desk.
All right, guys, thank you very much. Now, Eric, each of the last 6 All-Star games has been decided by 2 runs or less. What do you see happening tonight?
I see another close game dominated by pitching. Roy Halladay on the National League, his 8th All-Star selection. 4 pitches he can throw at any time, anywhere. On the other side of the diamond, you're going to have Jared Weaver. He leads Major League Baseball in ERA. Very deceptive, throws across his body. But I think this game may tilt towards the National League because of their bullpen. Johnny Venters, Craig Kimbrell, Joel Hanrahan, all dominant relievers that provide uncomfortable at-bats. I don't think the American League will fare well.
Well, Eric, we are far from done. You'll be in the National League dugout all night. I'll be over in the AL, and you can join the conversation tonight on Twitter right here at this address, at MLB on Fox. Also, hashtag ASG. We're going to bring you behind-the-scenes conversation and pictures you cannot get anywhere else. Obviously, the guys are laughing it up and having fun so far. But remember, home field advantage in the World Series is on the line, and these guys are ready to go. Up next, Joe Buck will introduce the Major League All-Stars to America. We are back after this.
What does it mean to be the best? It means that you will always be remembered. It means a night when we celebrate this great game's past and present. It means nobody ever had to tell you this game counted, because you already knew. 81 of these have been played. Every one memorable in their own way. This year, it means a trip out west as the desert hosts the very best for the first time ever. It means the honor of playing for these great fans who voted to see you tonight, which is their game, not just yours. It means for one night, we witness matchups we always dream about. But most important, it means you are a Major League Baseball All-Star. And that means tonight is your night.
And a special thanks to Brad Pitt for voicing our open tonight. It is time right now to meet the All-Stars. For that, let's send it upstairs to Joe Buck.
All right, Chris, thank you very much. And now first, let's meet the American League All-Star team. The coaches from the Cleveland Indians, Manny Acta. From the Toronto Blue Jays, John Farrell. And now the players. From the Baltimore Orioles, Matt Wieters. From the Boston Red Sox, Jacoby Ellsbury. Josh Beckett. Kevin Youkilis. And John Lester. From the Chicago White Sox, Paul Konerko and Carlos Quentin. From the Cleveland Indians, Chris Perez. From the Seattle Mariners, Felix Hernandez. Or we could go with Detroit Tigers, Miguel Cabrera. Shortstop, Johnny Peralta. And pitcher, Justin Verlander. And closer, Jose Valverde. From the Kansas City Royals, Aaron Crow. From the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, Howie Kendrick. Jordan Walden. From the Minnesota Twins, Michael Kadire. From the New York Yankees, David Robertson. Russell Martin. From the Oakland Athletics, pitcher Gio Gonzalez. And now, from the Seattle Mariners, Felix Hernandez. Michael Pineda. And Brandon League. From the Tampa Bay Rays, pitcher David Price. Matt Joyce. And James Shields. From the Texas Rangers, Michael Young. C.J. Wilson. And Alexi Ogando. From the Toronto Blue Jays, Ricky Romero. And now let's meet the National League All-Star team. Let's let him hear it. The coaches from your Arizona Diamondbacks, Kirk Gibson. And from the Chicago Cubs, Mike Quade. And now the players from your Arizona Diamondbacks, Justin Upton. Miguel Montero. From the Atlanta Braves, Johnny Venters. Craig Kimbrell. And Jair Jurgens. From the Chicago Cubs, Starlin Castro. From the Cincinnati Reds, Brandon Phillips. Joey Votto. And Jay Bruce. From the Florida Marlins, Gabby Sanchez. From the Houston Astros, Hunter Pence. From the Los Angeles Dodgers, Andre Ethier. And Clayton Kershaw. From the Milwaukee Brewers, Ryan Braun. From the New York Mets, Jose Reyes. From the Philadelphia Phillies, Shane Victorino. Placido Polanco. Cliff Lee. And Cole Hamels. From the Pittsburgh Pirates, Andrew McCutchen. Kevin Correa. And Joel Hanrahan. From the St. Louis Cardinals, Yadier Molina. From the San Diego Padres, Heath Bell. From the San Francisco Giants, Matt Cain. Ryan Vogelsong. Ryan Wilson. Pablo Sandoval. And Tim Lincecum. From the Washington Nationals, Tyler Clippard. And now let's meet the American League manager and starting lineup. The manager from the 2010 American League champion Texas Rangers, Ron Washington. Leading off and playing center field from the New York Yankees, Curtis Granderson. Batting second and playing shortstop from the Cleveland Indians, Asdrubal Cabrera. Batting third and playing first base from the Boston Red Sox, Adrian Gonzalez. Batting fourth and playing right field from the Toronto Blue Jays, Jose Bautista. Batting fifth, playing left field from the Texas Rangers, Josh Hamilton. Batting sixth and playing third base from the Texas Rangers, Adrian Beltre. Batting seventh, the designated hitter from the Boston Red Sox, David Ortiz. Batting eighth and playing second base from the New York Yankees, Robinson Cano. Batting ninth and catching down in the bullpen from the Tigers, Alex Avila. And the starting pitcher down in the bullpen from the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, Jared Weaver. And now let's meet the National League manager and starting lineup. the manager from the 2010 World Series champion San Francisco Giants, Bruce Bochy. Leading off and playing second base from the Milwaukee Brewers, Ricky Woods. Batting second, the designated hitter from the New York Mets, Carlos Beltran. Batting third and playing center field from the Los Angeles Dodgers, Matt Kemp. Batting fourth and playing first base from the Milwaukee Brewers, Prince Fielder. Batting fifth and catching from the Atlanta Braves, Brian McCann. Batting sixth and playing right field from the St. Louis Cardinals, Lance Berkman. Batting seventh, playing left field from the St. Louis Cardinals, Matt Holliday. Batting eighth and playing shortstop from the Colorado Rockies, Troy Tulowitzki. Batting ninth, playing third base from the Cincinnati Reds, Scott Rowland. And the starting pitcher warming up in the bullpen from the Philadelphia Phillies, Roy Halladay. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2011 American League and National League All-Stars. And we continue from Phoenix, Arizona. Up next, a preview of Simon Cowell's The X Factor coming your way this fall on Fox.
to the Chevrolet All-Star pregame show on Fox.
As we gather tonight for this Midsummer Classic in Arizona, we pause to remember the tragic events in Tucson earlier this year. In the aftermath, this state and our nation embraced the memory of those who lost their lives and shared our will and strength with those seeking to recover. We direct your attention to the seats behind the third base dugout, where we welcome those who were injured or lost loved ones during this tragedy. Attending tonight's All-Star game as guests of Major League Baseball. Six of our fellow Americans lost their lives that day. The youngest, Christina Taylor Green, was a member of the baseball family. The daughter of a scout, John Green, and granddaughter of longtime Major League manager, Dallas Green. Christina was the face of hope, a youthful optimist with visions of making a difference in the world around her. Tonight, we honor her memory and all the victims of that day. And we ask that you please join us now in a moment of silence. Thank you. Thank you. And now, please join us in welcoming to the field, delivering the starting lineup cards, the parents of Christina Taylor Green, Roxana and John, and Christina's brother, Dallas. And now, to honor America with the singing of our national anthem, please welcome Grammy-nominated platinum recording artist and Arizona's own American Idol winner, Jordan Sparks.
Oh, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
We continue moving toward first pitch. When we come back, Tim and I will analyze what we're about to see here tonight as we roll on from Phoenix, Arizona.
moments away from first pitch between the American and National League All-Stars. For the call of the 82nd All-Star Game here on Fox, let's send it back upstairs to the man who will call tonight's game, Joe Buck.
All right, Chris, thank you very much. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the broadcast booth. I am Joe Buck. Tim McCarver is coming right up. Well, this is a night that all of us at Fox look forward to every year. Why? It's a celebration of the game. The game's best are on display here tonight. We say that every year. As you look at these two teams, you see an American League lineup that is better than the National League lineup. However, with all of the conversation this week about who's not here at this game, these All-Stars are not here for the AL. And this is AL starting pitching firepower. Justin Verlander, CC Sabathia, David Price, John Lester, Felix Hernandez, and oh, by the way, at the end, the guy who can close any game, any time, in any setting, Mariano Rivera. So, Tim McCarver, that's a long way of saying if the NL has any advantage, it's in that starting rotation.
Yeah, I think, Joe, you have to ask the question about what is more dominant in the All-Star game, pitching or hitting. Well, consider this. In the long history of this game, with sluggers like Babe Ruth, Willie Mays, Ted Williams, Joe DiMaggio, the composite batting average, 247. 247. So pitching definitely dominates the game. As far as the National League is concerned, when you can run guys out there like Cliff Lee, Roy Halladay, and Clayton Kershaw, that evens the chances.
Yeah, and those are just three of the many stars on display here tonight.
It's baseball's biggest night of the summer.
It's time for a new generation of stars.
It's the American League versus National League.
The 82nd All-Star Game on Fox.
Coming up next.
Now NFL Sunday Ticket is included at no extra charge. By Sprint, all together now. By Firestone, the official tire of Major League Baseball. And by MasterCard, the preferred card of Major League Baseball. About the old Taco Bell starting lineup. Taco Bell think outside the bun. Here is Michael Kadire of the Minnesota Twins.
Hey, this is Michael Kadire of the Minnesota Twins. This is the best players of the American League. Leading off for us is going to be Curtis Granderson, playing center field from the New York Yankees. Hitting fourth for us tonight, the home run champion, Jose Bautista from the Toronto Blue Jays, playing right field. Big Papi, he's going to be DHing for us tonight, hitting seventh from the Boston Red Sox. The home run derby champion is going to be following him up, Robinson Cano, playing second base from the New York Yankees. And pitching for us from the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, Jared Weaver.
Well done, Michael. And now we look at the numbers for Roy Halladay. Big 6'6", 230-pound right-hander now with Philly. Long time with the Toronto Blue Jays, and he has been nothing short of extraordinary. 6 complete games, more than 27 of the 30 teams across baseball. And as Granderson walks in, the opening pitch is brought to you by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. And before we get rolling, what are the 4 keys to the game?
Michael Kadire mentioned that Robbie Cano is hitting 8th. When the home run derby winner is hitting 8th, that's power. And for the National League, they'll try to outpitch them like they did last year.
And first pitch, hack, and 1 out. That's Tim taking it to the extreme.
I think that's exactly what most hitters do here at the All-Star game. A lot of early in the count swinging. They don't want the good pitchers to get ahead of them.
Do you want to tell the world that that was the first start for Curtis Granderson? And he's got 25 home runs, and he's tied with his teammate Mark Teixeira. And
it would be redundant if I did that.
It would. And with 1 out, here is Asdrubal Cabrera, who has been the consistent piece for the surprising Cleveland Indians. He has been there. He's a shortstop, former second baseman, a lot of pop. And he comes up empty, strike 2. A Cleveland team that has surprised everybody, just a half game out in the AL Central. And now the 0-2 from Halladay. Just missed down, ball 1. First All-Star game for Cabrera, and he gets the start because of the absence of Derek Jeter, who's not only not in the game but not in Phoenix. And 2 out as Halladay gets strikeout number 1. Home plate umpire tonight is Dale Scott. He is the crew chief of this veteran crew, with Jerry Lane at first, his 3rd All-Star game. Hunter Wendelstedt at 2nd, his first. Same for Dan Iasonia at Hickox down the left field line, and Chris Guccione is in right. And with 2 out, nobody on, it brings in Adrian Gonzalez, who I don't think you get any argument when you say that Gonzalez is the first half AL MVP in his first year with Boston.
Without a doubt, no question.
Takes a ball over the outside part for a guy who has driven in 77 to lead the league, and now a strike. His first in average, and he is 1 for 5 in his All-Star game history. Good breaking ball is in for strike 2. Gonzalez talks about staying behind the ball, getting on top of it, and driving through it. And he pulls it here, so good the other way, and it is a very quiet top half of the first here in Phoenix. NL coming up. Halladay with a scoreless first, no score.
filthy. Let's just say, let's start off with Carlos Beltran. The guy's a phenomenal hitter, switch hitter. There's talks of him coming over to the Giants. More than welcome. Come on over, pal. Brian McCann behind the dish. The guy's an absolute beast. Atlanta, I think, are going to need to sign him to a long-term deal, just saying. Roy Halladay on the mound. This guy is a cyborg. Location like a robot. He's filthy. Our chances of winning today have just gone up 7-fold because that guy's towing the rubber.
The rumor is that's Brian Wilson. You could basically have anybody behind that beard giving the lineups, but there's only one Brian Wilson, and Jared Weaver deals a strike. He's already tampering with Carlos Beltran, who the Giants may go after before the trading deadline. There are the numbers for Jared Weaver, who is in his second All-Star game and making his first start. And 2 quick strikes, and you see guys go up there swinging early.
That's normally what happens in the All-Star game. Jared Weaver, on the other hand, winning 6 in a row. Then he lost 4 in a row. And now he's won his last 5 starts for the Angels.
And a little squirter. Adrian Gonzalez is a Gold Glove Award winner at first, 1 out. By the way, what Brian Wilson was doing was the Taco Bell starting lineup when we ask you to think outside the bun, and there could be a bun in that beard, there could be anything in that beard. And a nice moment with Jared Weaver, as he does every time he takes the mound, riding in the back of the pitching mound in the dirt. NA for his late friend Aidenhart. Changeup is a swinging strike. And Beltran, who is the DH, waits for the 0-1. That's low. Nick Aidenhart passed away in April of 2009. A really good young pitcher with the Angels. Jared Weaver telling us yesterday that he can remember Nick going to the pitching coach Mike Butcher of the Angels, saying after his start, his last effort before he passed away was killed in an automobile accident. I'm just starting to figure it out. He passed away early on a Friday morning and was set to move in with Jared Weaver on Sunday. Here's a 2-1. 2-2. Brian Wilson talked about a filthy lineup. Jared Weaver's stuff is filthy. Throws across his body and is tough against lefties and righties, and he strikes out Beltran 2 away.
Started Beltran off with a changeup, finished Carlos off with a changeup. He got a very unusual delivery. Turns his back to home plate more than any other right-handed pitcher in baseball. You can see the changeup. Whenever that ring finger's involved, nothing fast is coming.
Matt Kemp, who is digging in as the 4th National League player since 1950, before the All-Star break, to have hit 20 or more, driven in 60 or more, and stolen 20 or more. And Tim, very simply put, he is having an MVP type season on a bad Dodger club.
You talked about Adrian Gonzalez, more of a hands down first half MVP. Matt Kemp certainly in the running. I think the leading candidate on a Dodger club that's in 4th place in the National League West.
And when you think about his numbers, think about what he's got hitting behind him, and not to denigrate who is batting in the 5 spot for the Dodgers. He's got Ethier in front of him, but he does not have protection, which was the case the last couple of years for a guy like Adrian Gonzalez playing for the San Diego Padres. Now Gonzalez is with the perfect team, the perfect lineup, and the numbers are staggering what Adrian has done in the first half of the season. Counts 3-1. On deck, Prince Fielder. And the next from Jared Weaver gives us our first base runner of the night. A 2-out walk.
That opens up things for a guy not only with power, but a guy who can run, and that's Matt Kemp. A 90% success rate, 27 out of 30.
And it brings in a guy with an explosive uppercut swing. He's looking to golf. If you miss down, he will lose it. And a guy who has hit as many as 50 home runs in a season. A free agent to be, and he has let anybody know if they need a DH even, he'll listen. First pitch swinging, flying out to left after 1 here in Phoenix. with Bautista, Hamilton, Beltre coming up, no score. TNT trivia question: which two MLB teams have never hosted an all-star game? So think about that as Bautista goes up there pumping, and he pops it up into shallow center. In to get it is Matt Kemp. These guys will be back at the hotel at 6:30.
Jose Bautista didn't even have a chance to tell everybody that he has 85 home runs in the last year and a half for the Blue Jays, and the leading vote getter, 7.5 million votes for Bautista.
And that's, I think, remarkable for a guy who plays in Toronto.
It is.
But good for Jose Bautista, who has reinvented himself with the Toronto Blue Jays. First pitch to Josh Hamilton is a ball. Reigning AL MVP, and Roy Halladay will try to get through this second, and then his night will be finished. And Rowland, one of the best ever, 2 out. Where does Scott Rowland rank on your list, Tim, of all time defensive third baseman?
I think he's the best base runner, #1 in baseball. He's won 8 Gold Gloves. Only 2 guys who played that position have won more. Mike Schmidt won 10. Brooks Robinson, the all-time great, won 16.
I just want to go back to Bautista.
Okay.
Even with Adrian Beltre digging in.
All right.
Bautista is a guy who's in his second All-Star game. In June, in 1 month, in 2004, he was in 5 different organizations. And now here he is, the reigning AL home run king, and a guy who leads the major leagues with 31, backing up what he did in 2010. It is a remarkable story. And it's an 0-2 count on Adrian Beltre in his first year with the Texas Rangers.
remarkable story is that guy towing the rubber, too. Lance Berkman telling us yesterday, it's like facing Mariano Rivera for 9 innings. One cutter after another.
And Beltre just got a piece. Roy Halladay is a 2-time Cy Young Award winner in 03 with Toronto as his teammate Cliff Lee gets loose. Gotta love the shoes. And Beltre waits for another 0-2 from Halladay. And it's blocked by McCann. Do you see any team challenging the Philadelphia Phillies and what they can throw at any opponent firepower-wise in their rotation here in 2011?
I do. I think the Atlanta Braves, who are second in earned run average, have a good young lineup. I think they can catch the Phillies. Will they? I don't know.
That just missed inside, and the count 2-2.
Atlanta Braves only 3.5 behind the Phillies at the break. But the Phillies can throw one guy after another at you.
And they all have experience.
Right.
That's a big difference between Philly and Atlanta. But we will see potentially a couple of young, brave hurlers who dominate their bullpen in Venters and Kimbrel as we go along, as you look at the NL East. Count is 2-2 on Beltre, who has hit 19 home runs. And he flies one into right, well hit. Back on the track to end the inning is Berkman. And we go to the bottom of the second here in Phoenix. It is hot outside. We are under the roof, and there is no score. Grab some buds. MasterCard Worldwide and Stand Up to Cancer today announce Eat, Drink, and Be Generous. Terrence Howard is here to introduce the program by conducting a ceremonial first purchase.
I'm proud to be working with Stand Up to Cancer and MasterCard to help kick off Eat, Drink, and Be Generous. Every time you use your MasterCard when dining out from now through September 1st, MasterCard will make a donation to Stand Up to Cancer up to a total of $4 million. Every meal counts to help find a cure. Find out more at standuptocancer.org/MasterCard.
And thank you, Terrence. Well, we've got our first issue of the night. David Robertson has as long as he needs to warm up. This is what he does. One of the best setup relievers in the game as he sets up Mariano Rivera for the New York Yankees. But Josh Beckett, Tim, was warming up, felt something in his left knee, and he is not able to go tonight. Let's go for our reports. Here's Chris Rhodes.
Yeah, Joe, American League manager Ron Washington told us that Josh Beckett was going to be second in line following Jared Weaver. He tried to warm up, felt something in his left knee. He actually tweaked it in his last start over the weekend, so that's why you see David Robertson out on the bump right now, and I'll try and talk to Josh as the game progresses. Joe?
Okay, Chris, thank you very much. Robertson, who replaces David Price on this roster. He was a late addition, and he deals with McCann, and the first pitch is outside, ball one.
One of the reasons he is the second pitcher with Beckett out, he was able to warm up quickly as he is for the Yankees, setting up Mariano Rivera during the season.
Is 1-0. Is chopped foul. McCann is taking over the Atlanta Braves. I think that team, Tim, is becoming more and more his. I still think he's one of the most underrated players in the game. And a guy who's a .291 career hitter. His vision has improved as he's cut out caffeine from his diet. He's in better shape. And he is a lot better athlete than he looks. He can run. He's got good feet. And he grew up hitting. His dad was a coach at Georgia.
And one of the reasons, the biggest reason, that the National League won last year for the first time since 1996.
And he launches one into right, into the corner, long run, and foul, and caught for the out. Unbelievable. That is an all-star game highlight from a guy who is here doing it all in 2011.
We thought we would see a highlight from Bautista tonight, but not defensively. What a play by Jose Bautista, catching the ball hit in foul territory by McCann. That's a beauty there.
Wow. And from a guy who has gone back to third base, there's a reaction from his pitcher. And you talk about laying it all out there in an all-star game, Jose Bautista just did. What a play by Bautista. All the home runs, versatile defensively, former utility player. So he can do it all, and he proves it here in the all-star game. Here is Lance Berkman taking ball one. It is stunning that Berkman is leading the National League in home runs. There were experienced baseball people who last year, after his year with Houston, finishing with the Yankees, that thought his career might be over, at least becoming that threat again in a lineup. Well, he is that, and he is on with the first hit of the night. And again, we go back to Bautista and look at his travels. What a career it's been. In 04, he played with 4 different teams at the big league level. 04 through 08 was with the Pirates. Was dealt over to Toronto. And here in the last 2 years, he's like a different player. And certainly as we are at the tail end of what people consider the steroid era, he gets the questions. We talked to him about it before the game, and he said, you know what? People who think it's that don't realize that the commissioner of baseball put in rules before I even came along. I have followed them. I've done it the right way. And he's talked about swing changes, Tim, that have let him meet the ball more out in front of the plate and drive it with more authority as Matt Holliday takes the ball outside, the count 1-1.
Yeah, Bautista learned lift last year. He's learned consistent contact this year. The lift for the home runs, the contact for the average.
And now a 1-1 pitch to Matt Holliday. Good tight breaking ball from Robertson, strike 2.
We asked Joe Girardi earlier in the year, Joe, the manager of the Yankees, if David Robertson reminded him of Mariano Rivera as a setup man his first year in 1996. Joe Girardi was a catcher for the Yankees.
Here is a 1-2. 2-2.
Joe told us that Rivera that year went multiple innings. David Robertson, the way the Yankees are set up, only goes 1 inning now. And usually that 1 inning is close to perfect. One of the best in the business, David Robertson.
And 56 strikeouts in just over 35 innings pitched. There's that tight breaking ball again, and the count goes full, 3-2. Pineda, the right-hander, getting loose for the AL, representing Seattle. There goes Berkman, and he'll have to come back as Holiday fouls it away.
I told David Robertson in the clubhouse before the game that I would say, since he has that Tuscaloosa relief for the tornado victims in Tuscaloosa, he is the celebrity bartender at a bar in New York called Foley's on 33rd Street, and he'll be there July 27th. And it's for High Socks with Hope. High Socks for Hope, his foundation. He gives $100 every strikeout to the relief effort in Tuscaloosa.
He's donated $5,600 so far. 3-2 and strike 3. Throw down and out. Berkman called out as he went off the bag. The tag applied, and it's a strike him out, throw him out, double play. Holiday took a fastball right down the middle, and his teammate Lance Berkman slid too far. No score. Back after this from your local Fox station. In Fort Cliff Lee, 4 shutouts to go with his teammate Roy Halladay's 6. His record, the ERA, he had an unbelievable month of June where he allowed only 1 earned run and drove home 2 with the bat. David Ortiz is first up. And Lee, who was the 2008 AL Cy Young Award winner with Cleveland and has bounced around since then with everybody wanting him. The Phillies won the Cliff Lee sweepstakes over the offseason, and he's back in a Philly uniform as he misses with ball 3. So you can talk about the pitching, but we will concentrate on the hitting of Cliff Lee after Ortiz does something to start this 3rd inning. Manager Bruce Bochy has the lefties going here in the early innings against the bottom of this lineup for the AL, which is very left-handed heavy, and the count's full.
Saying that Cliff Lee's got to pitch anyway, so he might as well pitch against the left-handers of the American League. 1 earned run, 2 runs driven in.
And he hit his first home run on Saturday as Fielder goes to the bag. Here's Cliff.
Babe Ruth started as a pitcher too.
A solo shot on Saturday off the Braves' Tommy Hanson, and his first career home run in 109 at bats, and it brings in Robinson Cano.
Driving in more runs than he allowed in June. First time since 1985 that he did that, when Doc Gooden did it, driving in more runs than he gave up.
And here is a matchup we saw last year in the ALCS with the Yankees and the Texas Rangers. This is where Cliff Lee hung his hat the second half of the year in 2010. Backing up, Fielder. And Cliff Lee for the easy out to put out 3-1. Robinson Cano, who won the home run derby here last night, had his dad Jose throw him the pitches. His dad, who got up to the big league briefly with Houston in '89, is making his second All-Star game start, and now making his first All-Star game appearance is Alex Avila. And another lefty for Cliff Lee. Avila was given the job at the start of the year with a "let's see" attached to it. Let's see if you can hit. If not, maybe the Tigers put Victor Martinez back behind the plate and go a different direction. Well, Avila is hit, and he has got 46 RBIs, leading AL catchers. Count 0-2.
And catching that pitching staff headed by Justin Verlander. We asked Alex yesterday, I did, about the bone on his left hand and how his index finger on his left hand is doing. He said it's been numb since the middle of last year. That's where that catcher's hand takes all that pounding from guys who throw hard like Verlander.
Here is an 0-2. Breaking ball misses. By the way, you see Verlander. Major League Baseball sending out a release reminding people that 84 total players were named All-Stars. 79 of the 84 did show up here in Phoenix. 2 of the guys that didn't just had surgery: Chipper Jones, Alex Rodriguez for the torn meniscus in their knees. Mariano Rivera is not here. CC Sabathia is not here. Derek Jeter is not here. And that's been a hot button topic around baseball for the last couple of days. Here is a 2-2. And an easy one for the shortstop, Tulowitzki. And the inning is over. We have played 2.5, and we ask you to stay tuned for a sneak preview of Captain America: The First Avenger in theaters next Friday. No Score in Phoenix. is sponsored by Taco Bell. Think outside the bun. Folks, after more than 1 million votes, fans have selected the winner of the Midsummer Classics bracket tournament. And we congratulate Stan Musial, whose game-ending home run in the 55 All-Star game was named the greatest moment in All-Star game history. Stan the man, a 24-time All-Star selection, and his 6 All-Star game home runs are the most in history. And as we shift back to the present day, we look at the third pitcher of the night for the American League, and it's Michael Pineda.
He is the youngest All-Star at 22 years, 175 days, and the first Seattle rookie since 2001 when Ichiro started.
Tulowitzki takes a tailing fastball for a strike. Troy is in his second All-Star game, and he is a home run hitting shortstop, 76. Among shortstops, that's the most across baseball since 2009. Gets under it and flies it into center for Granderson, 1 out. Our AT&T trivia question: which 2 MLB teams have never hosted an All-Star game? The answer: the Tampa Bay Rays and the Florida Marlins, who next year become the Miami Marlins when they open a new ballpark on the site of the old Miami Orange Bowl. And with 1 out, it brings in Scott Rowland. When you talk about Stan Musial being a 24-time All-Star, he is tied with Willie Mays for the top spot, and Hank Aaron. And Willie Mays had some interesting quotes today in the Wall Street Journal with regard to guys not showing up for this All-Star game. He said, I was rewarded 24 times as an All-Star, and I went 24 times. It's not jury duty. Guys should show up. 1 ball, 1 strike on Scott Rowland. And Pineda, nasty pitch, strike 2.
Well, specifically with Derek Jeter, with that celebration at Yankee Stadium, the home run for his 3,000th hit on Saturday, I was hopeful, and I think a lot of baseball fans feel that way, hopeful that Jeter had shown up here.
As Rowland strikes out.
So the celebration could be a national celebration instead of just a local New York celebration.
Because that day, as you watch this pitch from Pineda, nasty, tight breaking ball down, and Rowland strikes out. 2 out in the inning. Tim, that day, 5 for 5, a home run for hit number 3,000. He wins the game in the bottom of the 8th inning with a base hit up the middle. He did everything for a guy that had a down year last year, a big year in 09. The team went 14-4 when he was on the disabled list. He comes back to 3-3 since he's come back from that calf, and he said he wanted to rest physically. He wanted to rest mentally, emotionally, and that's the reason why he's not here tonight. But that game, for a milestone game, has got to go down as one of, if not the best ever.
Only the 3rd time in his 16-year career that he had 5 hits in a game, and to have the home run for his 3,000th hit. The only other player of the 28 with 3,000 hits, Wade Boggs, hit a home run for his 3,000th hit.
Ricky Weeks, who among Major League Baseball leadoff hitters the last year and a half, has the most home runs at 45 total. He's number 1 also in runs and RBIs. He grounded out his first time up. He's in the hole here, 1-2. And Pineda is not in awe of the situation. And he is filthy. Weeks strikes out, back-to-back strikeouts, and we go to the 4th. Hale coming up. No score in Phoenix. lead it off for the AL.
My grandmother actually got me into wrestling when I was younger. WrestleMania 23 in Detroit, the best sporting event I've ever been to. Some of my favorite wrestlers of all time, Junkyard Dog, Undertaker, Ultimate Warrior. Macho Man, his outfits were absolutely amazing. King Booker, or Booker T, depending when you knew him.
Guy that lights up a camera, and a guy who has been lighting up pitchers around the AL with his 25 home runs. Tied with his teammate Mark Teixeira. Looking up at his teammate for the night, Jose Bautista, with his 31. No score, fourth inning, and Cliff Lee back to work. Strike one.
Saying WrestleMania as Hunter Pence comes in the game in left field, and in right field, local product Justin Upton.
And Granderson is 0 for 2.
That's something, Granderson talking about WrestleMania being the best athletic event he'd ever been to after playing center field for the New York Yankees. Playing in postseason play at Yankee Stadium.
And he did get to postseason last year. In his first year, he got hot down the stretch. Granderson, and it has carried over all the work he's done with Kevin Long, the hitting instructor for the Yankees, has paid off, especially dealing with left-handed pitching, which had always been his problem, and he has 9 of his 25 this year against lefties.
And that leads the major leagues for all hitters against left-handers.
Here is Asdrubal Cabrera, and there is a fly ball into center for Matt Kemp. 2 out. You know, the amazing thing about Cliff Lee is he seems to be able to throw any pitch he wants, whenever, and when he misses, he never misses over the middle of the plate.
No. He tries to come inside, he misses inside. When he tries to go away, he misses away.
And here's one of those good matchups. Adrian Gonzalez with his 17 home runs, 77 RBIs against Lee. Strike one.
Adrian Gonzalez cuts down on his swing against left-handed pitchers. About a 70% chance he'll hit the ball to left field. He's the best left-handed hitter to hit the ball to left in the big leagues.
And he flies one into deep right here. It is gone. And the AL takes a 1-0 lead. The season of excellence continues for Adrian Gonzalez.
First base runner, however brief it was, and looked like a cut fastball over the middle of the plate. A rare mistake from Lee.
Big swing by Bautista, who is trying to match it. Bautista is a pull hitter. As you say, Gonzalez likes going the other way. This time pulled into right center. And a nice catch by a fan in right center. Strike two on Bautista. Adrian Gonzalez signed a 7-year, $154 million deal earlier in the year. He's been with Florida, Texas, San Diego, which is where he was born, and now Boston. That just missed. And Gonzalez was a .284 hitter coming into this season. And now with the protection of that terrific Red Sox lineup, he's hitting .354 in his first year with Boston. Little pop-up behind first, and fielder drops it. Fair ball. And they hold Bautista at first. He was thinking about going to second, but fielder recovered, and we'll see what it's scored.
I think it's going to be a base hit. This is a very difficult chance for a fielder. It is a hit. A lot of times, if you're the catcher on a play like that, you trail the runner down to first base. And if the base runner gets too far on the turn, then you're the first baseman. But McCann did not do that. So Bautista went back to an empty bag at first.
And it brings in Josh Hamilton, who grounded out his first time up. And takes a ball from Cliff Lee. Josh Hamilton hit .359 last year. A guy who did not play in 2003, 4, or 5. Heavy substance abuse. He has battled his way back from that. He breaks his bat and dumps one into center for another hit. Go behind Batista, and it's 2 on, 2 out. And Bruce Bochy is going to make a change with Adrian Beltre coming up. He will go to his bullpen, and Cliff Lee, with Tyler Clippard coming in, has given up the first hits of the night for the AL. And it started with a 2-out home run by Gonzalez, 1-0 AL. Here, call 1-800-DIRECT-TV. And before we go on, as you see Tyler Clippard and his numbers, setup reliever for Washington. He's got 63 strikeouts already this year. Adrian Beltre is in to face him 2 on, 2 out in the 4th. AL with a home run from Adrian Gonzalez. Strike 1. We want to thank Brad Pitt for narrating the opening of our telecast tonight. Brad stars in the movie Moneyball, opening September 23rd in theaters everywhere.
Famous book by Michael Lewis.
Beltre flying to right his first time up. Clippard trying to finish off the top of the 4th. Strike 2.
Funny how the stories are interwoven in this game. Adrian Beltre signed in 1994 with the Los Angeles Dodgers. He's been in the majors for 15 years. He was signed by Ralph Avila, the grandfather of Alex Avila, who is hitting 9th for the American League tonight. And Ralph, we understand, is at the ballpark tonight. What a dear man he is, and what a keen eye he had for talent.
Pedro Martinez, Ramon Martinez, Raul Mondesi, Adrian Beltre. A long list. The 0-2. And a line drive base hit into left. Here comes Bautista. What a throw. Inning over. Just into the game, Hunter Pence. And an all-star game smile from the Astros outfielder. It followed the first all-star game home run since 2008. 1-0 AL, not 2-0 thanks to Pets. On the home run by Adrian Gonzalez. Kevin Youkilis, Adrian's teammate from the Red Sox, takes over at third base for Beltre. And C.J. Wilson of the Texas Rangers is on the mound.
First Ranger started, selected to an All-Star game in 6 years. Kenny Rogers, the last left-hander.
And a ground ball into the hole. It's short and no play for Cabrera. Beltran on with a base hit. And we'll go down for a visit with a special guest. Here's Mark Grace.
Thanks, fellas. I'm down here in the pool area with the star of the upcoming comedy, Friends with Benefits. Welcome, Justin Timberlake. How you doing, brother?
Joe Buck, you're calling a great game,
Thanks,
Joe.
Thanks,
he
Justin.
always does.
Just
Thanks.
a classy guy with a classy voice.
Thanks. It's getting there.
Now, your first All-Star game.
That's right.
And did you ever think you'd be at a swimming pool?
I know. When they said, we want you to go down there and be interviewed by the pool, I said, excuse me?
Well, why don't we come over? Why don't we come over here and get a shot of the pool? Well,
Sullivan, I'm not upset that we're here.
yeah, it's a pretty good spot. Now, also, you wanted to ballpark food, right? Peanuts, popcorn, hot dogs. Which one's your favorite?
My favorite, just beer.
Really,
Yeah,
beer. Well, you know what? Beer, it's kind of the perfect food, isn't it?
It goes with a hot dog. It goes with nachos. It goes with peanuts. Beer's perfect.
Well, you know what? I don't think
beer never got mad at me because I didn't call beer back.
Oh, you know, that's a very good point. That is a very good point.
Hey, Gracie, ask him if his movie's any good.
Okay, Joe wants to know, is your movie any good?
It's fantastic, Joe. You're going to laugh. You're going to cry because I know you're that type of guy.
Right.
But you're going to laugh.
He's a sensitive guy.
He's a classy guy, that Joe. And you're calling a great game.
Do you have anything to say to Tim McCarver?
We're big fans of you in Memphis, Tim.
All right.
Big fans.
All right.
Here is Matt Kemp with a base hit in the left. And it's 2 on with nobody out. Is the NL down 1-0. Has 2 on hits by Beltran and Kemp. One more from Mark Grace.
Okay, now you're also a big baseball fan and a Los Angeles Dodger fan, is that correct?
I am a Dodger fan. Yeah, my dad got me into the Wrecking Crew. Actually, my favorite baseball player of all time, Oral Hershiser.
Oral Hershiser,
yes,
really?
Sir.
No, not Steve Garvey, not Eric Karros.
Bulldog.
What about Eric Karros?
The Bulldog, baby.
Sorry, Eric, I tried, man. Hey, Justin, thanks a lot. Best of luck to you. Let's throw it back up to the guys.
Right. Good game, Joe. On a great game.
Thanks. Really appreciate it, and it's said with such sincerity. As Prince Fielder stands in and takes one inside, ball 1, until all of a sudden the NL has something cooking here in the 4th.
2 straight singles, one by Beltran, an infield hit, and then Matt Kemp with a base hit to left.
And Fielder, who flied out to left his first time up, gets under it and flies it out of play for strike 1. So Steve Tolhorn, our editorial consultant, handed me a card that caught my attention. That home run by Adrian Gonzalez was the first All-Star Game home run since 2008. Wow. There were no home runs in the All-Star Game last year or the year before. Anaheim last year, St. Louis in 09. Here's a 1-1 to Fielder. Down and away, ball 2. So C.J. Wilson is right into trouble. Brian McCann, a lefty on deck. Clayton Kershaw getting ready, representing the Dodgers for the NL out in their pen. Former closer is C.J. Wilson. His first All-Star game. And the count 2-2.
During the World Series last year, Ron Washington telling us that C.J. Wilson came in his office in spring training of 2010 and said, look, I've been in the bullpen too long. I think I should be a starter. And Washington said, prove you can do it. He did, and he is, and here he is in the All-Star game.
Ron saying before the game, I've got a fantasy club that I'm managing, and I'm just going to have fun. That's well hit. Crushed. And just like that, it's 3-1 National League.
Joe, I think that ball hit the top of the wall, and it hit that yellow line that runs just above the Geico sign in left center field, about 420 feet away from home plate.
Wow. How about the power the other way by Prince Fielder?
My gosh, you talked about it being a low ball hitter earlier. That pitch was up just above the belt, it appeared. And the National League takes the lead.
So here's a guy who's a free agent to be, and all year, really his whole career, with his strength, he proves over and over again he can hit the ball out of any park to any field. We went 2 years without an All-Star Game home run. And now we've got one in the top half and a 3-run shot in the bottom half to make it 3-1 NL. And that just missed the body of Brian McCann.
Prince Fielder telling us yesterday that his wife complains a lot because he's got a scowl on his face. Well, you hit balls like that, that'll take the scowl off your face. Turn a smile upside down.
Here is a foul. Third base side. And Euclid hauls it in, 1 out. Let's look at that home run. Seemingly glancing off the top of the wall in left center.
Yeah, I think it hit that yellow line in left center field. Right there.
And then out. And then over the head of the most surprised man in America.
No scowl there.
He's got 1 million tattoos. He's got one representing each of his 2 sons. And a strike is into Justin Upton, the Diamondback. One of the good young players in this game. And a shattered bat caught by Cano, and the jagged piece of lumber went right in to the NL dugout. Again, the home run. And that'll make Prince's sons, Jaden, who's 6, Haven, who's 5. The Prince calls the little big one. Jaden has I guess it's the right forearm of Prince Fielder with that self-portrait that he did tattooed into the arm of Prince Fielder. There's Hunter Pence, who threw out, and there's Prince, threw out Batista at the plate in the top of this inning. Chokes up on the bat, takes a ball, and I guess, Tim, we shouldn't be surprised. That is a guy in Hunter Pence who leads major leagues in outfield assists since 2008 with 50. And he showed off that good arm to cut down Batista and end the rally in the top of this inning.
Had Jose by about 5 feet at home plate. He is the whole package. Hunter Pence from the Astros.
It's not always pretty.
No.
He plays hard. He's got a lot of energy. And on a team in Houston that's really struggling, he is one of the best young players in the game today. He waits for a 3-1. And a full count for C.J. Wilson, who is now on the hook. 3 straight hits started the inning. Infield hit by Beltran, a base hit by Kemp. And as Pence strikes out, Prince Fielder hit the 3-run home run to make it 3-1 after 4. NL on top.
I'm proud to be working with stand-up.
The official vehicle of Major League Baseball in the 82nd All-Star Game. By Pepsi Max, Field of Dreams. Play ball with baseball greats. And by Rise of the Planet of the Apes, August 5th, only in theaters. D'Angelo Ortiz is the handsome son of David Ortiz, and here he is.
I'm D'Angelo Ortiz, and this is Jose Bautista. This is Kevin Youkilis. This is my dad.
And there's that face, and there's the face of Poppy. And D'Angelo's Poppy, David Ortiz.
How cute is that? I mean, a dead ringer for those 3 batting stances, and he does more also.
Yeah, that's just a sliver of what D'Angelo can do. And there's the face. D'Angelo was married to Prince Fielder's wife. She'd say, D'Angelo, why do you look so mean when you're up there at the plate? As Clayton Kershaw takes over on the mound. Joey Votto at first, Yadier Molina behind the plate. Regarded as the game's best defensive catcher. And David Ortiz now, who has had 2 options picked up by the Red Sox. And who a couple of years ago in June was hitting under 200. Has revived his power, revived his career. And he takes a 95-mile-per-hour fastball from the 23-year-old left-hander Clayton Kershaw, strike 2. Here comes a 1-2 from Kershaw. And it is strike 3 as they see Ortiz run around. It's Dan Iasuna. And David Ortiz not happy about it. 1 out.
Clayton Kershaw with that good slider gets Ortiz. Comes third base umpire Dan Iasuna, who made the call.
I didn't think he went. In an all-star game, you want to see a guy not get cheated, and
yeah,
it brings in Robinson Cano.
Well, the instant replay, they all look like they go around. Right.
First pitch hacking is Cano, strike 1. Robinson grounded out his first time up.
Clayton Kershaw with that little hesitation, kind of steps toward first, waves his right foot, and then steps forward. It's deceptive. It's very deceptive facing Kershaw.
And a slow roller. Votto makes the play. 2 out. Let's go down to the dugout and Eric Karras.
The big man, a 3-run shot. Those swings yesterday help you out?
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. That's, I mean,
Come on, talk to me,
I swing like that every day, so it was pretty good. But, no, it was just a lot of fun. I'm just glad I could help out.
Forget this helping out stuff. You know you got it when you got it?
Yeah. I mean, I know I hit it good, but, you know, like I said, I always get a little nervous. Just what if it doesn't go out? I don't want to get embarrassed out there. So.
If that didn't go out, was that a triple? Come on, talk to me.
Easy double. Easy double.
Great job, Prince Fielder, 3-run shot.
Eric, thank you. And when he did it, Prince became the first Brewer to homer in an all-star game. It was a bit surprising. Arizona now the only team not to have a player homer in an all-star game. Team that's been around since '98. Votto can pick it. And Kershaw there to cover.
2 good plays by Votto to end the inning.
We go to the bottom of the 5th in Phoenix, 3-1 NL. Isn't that sweet? We're headed out to MLB Fan Cave West in the pool area. Caveman Michael O'Hara and his wingman Ryan Wagner have watched, listen to this, 1,367 MLB games so far this season from the main Fan Cave location in New York City. You can be sure to check out what goes on at the cave at www.mlbfancave.com and follow at MLB Fan Cave on Twitter. There are the changes. Let them just wash over you. There are plenty. As the pitch is outside from Jordan Walden, the hard-throwing right-hander from the Angels. Let's see, Peralta's at short, Kendricks at second, Miguel Cabrera's at first. Jacoby Ellsbury is in center. And Walden, who can light up a radar gun, watches Tulowitzki get a base hit into right center field, and that's where the bottom of the fifth starts with the NL on top 3-1.
Don't look for Tulowitzki to be running. He's got tightness in his right quad. But you're right about Walden. He can flat out blow, as Starlin Castro is going to be the pinch runner for Troy Tulowitzki, probably because of that right quad.
And then he'll take over at short, so straight up change. And the batter will be Scott Rowland. You know, so much has been talked about with regards to this change with this time it counts. But it has added to this game that we're witnessing here tonight, and it has since the change has been in effect. Strike one on Rowland. The NL won last year for the first time since '96. The AL had won all 7 prior to that determined home field advantage in the World Series. As Castro takes off and he steals second. 10 stolen bases during the regular season, and now he adds one in the All-Star game as he gets in ahead of the throw from Avila.
So Bruce Bochy inserting Castro in for Tulowitzki. Tulowitzki couldn't run. Castro can. First Cub shortstop to make an All-Star team since Sean Dunston.
Here is a 1-1 and a breaking ball swung at and missed by Rowland. And just to finish that point, these managers are looking at this game differently than they did prior to that change. You can quarrel with should it determine home field advantage or not. Bruce Bochy told us before the game, yeah, I'm looking at specific matchups. I'm keeping guys on my bench as Walden blows away Rowland 1 out. And whereas the last time he was doing this in '99 after the '98 Padres season, when he just tried to get everybody in the game, well, it's a much different feel as manager here in 2011.
Managing the San Diego Padres in 1998 when they were swept by the New York Yankees in the World Series.
Brings in Ricky Weeks, who is 0 for 2, and this could be his last at bat with 1 out. Walden misses down and away. Jordan is a guy who can throw 100. If you give him strike 1, he will put you away. And there have been times where he throws so much into a pitch that both his feet will be off the ground when the ball is leaving his hand.
That's a leaping fastball right there.
Here is a 1-0 to Weeks. Now they get out of play. The ball and a strike.
Now the one thing that Jordan can hang on his mantle is that he replaced the greatest reliever in the history of the game, Mariano Rivera.
There are the numbers for the rookie right-hander. Keep that in mind that as the AL trails, should they get a lead, they do not have Rivera to close this game. Good breaking ball, strike 2. This is 2 pitches ago. Watch his feet. Right one goes up. Left one didn't go up. The 1-2 is in the dirt, and taking third is Starlin Castro. He was going anyway, and Avila couldn't handle it.
Taking third and taking advantage of Walden and that slider in the dirt. Nothing a catcher can do on a play like that. So Castro gets in the game. He steals second, then third. Now the infield will have to be moved in.
And they are, with Ricky Weeks, who has driven in 39 for the Brewers this season, waiting for a 2-2. And to the plate comes the runner, Castro, for out number 2. And a barehanded pick by Jordan Walden.
Well, both feet stayed on the ground this time. And he corralled it barehanded fashion to make the play at home. Good jump by Castro. Watch with the bare hand and the throw to Avila. Second out of the inning.
And it's a fielder's choice, scored 1-2. And Castro, who's been showing off his legs in this inning, is out at the plate.
You know, Joe, you may see a third baseman make a play like that, but rarely a pitcher with the bare hand.
It brings in Andre Ethier, who comes off the bench to bat for Beltran, who was 1 for 2 while he was in there. A check on Weeks, who has stolen 7. So Ricky is on, and the fielder's choice could not take advantage of a runner at third. 1 out, now 2 out. And Ethier, who is 7th in the NL, hitting .311, takes a ball.
Couple of home runs on Sunday against the San Diego Padres. Dodgers beating the Padres 3 in a row, and San Diego scoring only 1 run in that 3-game series.
Ethier had a 30-game hitting streak earlier this year. Power numbers are down. Weeks takes off, and the throw is too late. And obviously the book on Jordan Walden is slow to the plate. We're going to run when we can.
Ricky Weeks with 7 in 9 tries during the season. 3rd stolen base of this inning for the National League, but no one's crossed home.
And it's a 2-0 count on Ethier. That is down the line, foul. 2-1.
Andre Ethier and Dustin Pedroia of the Red Sox, the terrific second baseman, are the closest of friends. They live down the street from one another. They go on vacations together. I asked him before the game if Dustin was going to be here. He said no, he's relaxing back east, and I know he's watching the game.
And his pal Ethier waits for a 2-1 pitch. Strike 2. As we play here on July the 12th. We are in the All-Star break, and every division is in play across baseball. All 6 divisions decided by 3.5 games at this point. That is the first time in the 6th division era. Oh, that pitch is in the dirt. Full count on Ethier. Red Sox lead the AL East by 1. Detroit leads the Central by a half. Texas leads the West by 1. Philly leads the NL East by 3.5. Milwaukee and St. Louis tied in the Central. As Ethier hits it down the line. Foul. The world champion Giants are up by 3 on Arizona in the NL West.
Mentioned those 6 divisions, Joe. 1994, the first year that 6 divisions were employed in baseball, but of course postseason was canceled that year because of the strike.
And another foul by Ethier. Count still full. Ethier trying to pick up a run. Mickey Weeks at second with 2 out here in the 5th, and the NL up by 2.
What a team photo that is.
And Ethier delivers a hit to right. Here comes Weeks. Go to the plate, cut off. It's 4-1, and the inning is over. Bautista's throw cut off. Weeks scores the run. Ethier delivers it, and it's now 4-1. A game that has featured 2 home runs. Adrian Gonzalez of the Red Sox. Prince Fielder, a 3-run shot. Let's go to the 6th in the desert. Jair Jurgens takes over from the wild card leading Atlanta Braves. And there are the numbers, part of that good pitching staff for Freddie Gonzalez in his first year since taking over for Bobby Cox.
Jurgens started the year for the Atlanta Braves on the disabled list, and he made up some ground in a hurry, winning 12 of 15. The first pitcher ever from the lovely island of Curacao.
And he deals on the outside corner. Here are the changes. With Ellsbury at the plate in his first at bat, Brandon Phillips is at second base. Starlin Castro stays in at short. Pablo Sandoval now at third. Ellsbury is first at bat.
Joe, I want to clear that up. The first all-star pitcher from Curacao. The other all-star, Andrew Jones, who's now at the Yankees.
Here is a 1-1 from Jurgens. Low ball 2-1. Jacoby Ellsbury has had a little pop in his career. He's finally healthy. He can run. He leads the AL with 28 steals, and he's hitting .316 as he bounces one foul. 2-2. Do you want to win a weekend getaway from Holiday Inn? If so, guess which team will get the most hits. Text AL or NL to 88222 and be entered for a chance to win. Ellsbury trying to start something here in the 6th, and instead he strikes out. Good start to this inning for Jair Jurgens. That'll bring in for his first at bat Johnny Peralta, who took over defensively last half inning.
We talked in our opening tonight about how the National League, for the most part, is still intact as far as their pitching is concerned, and so far that's certainly been the case. Strong National League performance, and the American League giving up 4 runs.
Yeah, and you compare that to what the AL has had coming into this game. They didn't have Lester. They thought they would have Josh Beckett.
Right.
2 Red Sox teammates there.
Didn't have Sabathia, didn't have Verlander.
Didn't have David Price. Didn't have Felix Hernandez, and don't have Mariano Rivera.
Right.
Injury took out Lester. Injury took out Price with a bad toe, and Sunday starts took out the rest. Those pitchers are ineligible to start. As Upton hauls in out number 2. That went off the bat of Peralta. And it'll bring in Miguel Cabrera. There are the numbers for Cabrera, who is only 30 years old. And you always talk about the great swings. They're typically left-handed to the big league level. He's got one of those great swings, and he's a righty. And he is putting together a Hall of Fame career. He waits on the ball well. He's got power to all fields. He's recorded 25 or more home runs, 100 or more RBIs in 7 straight years. That's strike 1.
And did Cabrera ever make his mark in a hurry? Being knocked down by Roger Clemens in the 2003 make that World Series game. That was the game that Clemens announced his retirement. But then on the next pitch, he hit a home run to right field.
Came up with the Marlins, and now Dave Dombrowski, who was there and now is the GM with the Detroit Tigers, brought one of the game's best to Motor City to count 2-1. And now 2-2. This is the 6th All-Star game for Cabrera. The guy who finished 2nd in the MVP voting last year behind Josh Hamilton. And he grounds one to Brandon Phillips. Just into the game. And we go to the bottom of the 6th as we give you a peek at Old Town Scottsdale, a great spot. The Phoenix area, 4-1 NL.
what's up, dude?
What's up?
Who are you, a Boston fan?
Yeah, hey, can I have your autograph?
I can't sign during the game. Can I hang out with you for a little bit? All right, let's just sit here. So, who's your favorite player?
I don't really have one.
Yeah, what about Adrian? Come on, back.
Sure.
There you go. Check it out. Open it. What's in it? Yeah, I got something for you too, dude. Here, I got baseball cards for you. Just like the fight necklaces and stuff. Hey, look at that. I can't sign during the game, but I can sign before. All right, you guys, watch the hitters. I'm going to go try and do my best.
One of the most likable guys in the big leagues, Heath Bell.
He is.
Closer for the Padres and likely to be dealt before the trading deadline. And there would be a lot of suitors for a guy who has publicly said he would even set up in the right situation. And a guy talking about Heath Bell, who had 3 kids when he was in AAA and back in '06, was thinking about something else to do with his life. And for coming up with the Mets is kind of an afterthought since he's gone to San Diego. His career has taken off as a closer. You see the changes. Weeder's behind the plate. Chris Perez is on the mound in a 4-1 game, NL on top. And Matt Kemp is at the plate. Carlos Quinton is in the outfield, as is Matt Joyce. Quinton in right, Matt Joyce of Tampa Bay in left. Kemp is 1 for 1. Pretty good pitch. Called ball 3. Chris Perez is a unique guy. Somebody who is a big fan of rock and roll.
Is he ever?
Counts full, and he's in the right city pitching for Cleveland. He says he goes to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame Museum as much as he can. He's friends with Jim Henke, who's a former editor of Rolling Stone, and now the curator of the Hall of Fame. Here's a 3-2. And another foul.
Chris went to the University of Miami, and what he tweeted today, song of the day for those about to rock, AC/DC. He wore his AC/DC t-shirt and was listening to For Those About to Rock when we saw him in the hall downstairs.
He says it just hits him every day. Whatever it is, he tweets that's his song. And a fly ball is into right. Quentin back. Just into the game, 1 out. And Kemp is retired for the first time tonight. That'll bring in Joey Votto, who is the reigning National League MVP. And a guy who is second in the NL, hitting .324. Votto now, and Yadier Molina waiting on deck. Ball 1 up and away.
St. Louis and the Milwaukee Brewers are tied for the National League Central. A game back, the surprising Pittsburgh Pirates and Cincinnati 4-back. Yet half their lineup is in the All-Star game, 4 out of the 8.
And the count 2-0. Votto takes a strike from Chris Perez. Votto over the last 2 years, again last year's MVP in the National League, has been on base more than any player in baseball. His on base percentage is the best at .430. Number 2 with runners in scoring position, swinging the bat. He is a run producer.
And can pick it on defense, as we've seen.
And that's ball 3. 3-2. There's Yadier Molina, who used to catch Chris Perez with the Cardinals. And a strikeout as Votto chased it upstairs. 2 out. And the Cardinals made a deal for Mark DeRosa, who then was dealing with wrist issues and still is under contract with the San Francisco Giants. Good player. They made a deal with Cleveland. You see that little tip of the cap from Yadier Molina out to Chris Perez. Cardinals offered up either Jason Mott or Chris Perez. Take your pick. This one is right into the corner. And Yadier Molina has a 2-out double.
You can see Perez smiling at his old battery mate. And normally when a catcher faces his ex-pitcher, the catcher has the advantage because he knows how he's going to throw the ball, and his battery mate doesn't necessarily know his weaknesses as a hitter. But you can see one smile from ear to ear from Perez.
And that brings in Justin Upton and gets a nice hand. He lined out to second his first time up. Just 23 years old is Upton. And one of the rare 5-tool players. Now well hit into left, and Joyce hauls it in. It stays 4-1 as we go to the 7th. And some of the pictures and images from today. The 82nd MLB All-Star Game. And we'll return after this from your local Fox station. As we enjoy the 2011 Midsummer Classic, Major League Baseball and Fox Sports are proud to stand united in the fight against cancer with our partners Stand Up to Cancer. 1,500 people die each day from cancer. This is a statistic we must change. We pause tonight to remember and honor a pioneer of Stand Up to Cancer, Laura Ziskin, whose life was ended much too soon as she battled cancer. Please join Commissioner Bud Selig, Major League Baseball, and the entire baseball family in standing up to cancer. And please go to standuptocancer.org to find out how you can help today. Thank you. Major League Baseball family lost a member of its family, the great Harmon Killebrew, earlier this year, and our thoughts are with the great Gary Carter, who was in his battle, the kid, and there is nobody who has gone untouched by cancer. As we continue on here from Phoenix in this 82nd MLB All-Star Game. Jair Jurgens is back to work. And first up is Carlos Quentin, his first at bat. See the extra base hits, 42. Top 10 in the AL, representing the White Sox, who fell out of it early and now they're back in the race. As is, for the most part, the rest of the AL Central. They're only 5 out. Andrew McCutchen of the Pirates is in the game, and he is out in center. Matt Kemp is finished for the night in the count 0-2. Brandon League getting ready to be the next pitcher representing the Mariners in the AL. As Jurgens misses high, Jair's teammate Craig Kimbrell is getting loose in the bullpen, and that rookie has been brilliant. Here is a 1-2. That's a foul ball down the line. Joey Votto says he's got it. He does. 1 out.
One defensive change for the National League this inning. Down in center field, number 22, concussion.
And it brings in Matt Joyce.
Left fielder Matt Joyce,
who has tapered off since a fast start, but he represents the Tampa Bay Rays, and what a job Joe Madden is doing yet again with that team that's pared down so much payroll, lost just about their entire bullpen, lost Carl Crawford, and yet as play ended on Sunday, they're within shouting distance, 8 games over 500, 6 out. Joyce grounds out to Castro. 2 out. They'll bring in Kevin Youkilis, and he is our Moneyball All-Star player. In Moneyball, Billy Beane, played by Brad Pitt, is forced to reinvent his team, the Oakland A's, on a tight budget and outsmart the richer clubs. Beane, who called Youkilis the Greek god of walks, had his eye on drafting him, but the Red Sox grabbed him in the 8th round in 2001.
It's a good name for Kevin. Greek god of walks.
He is one of the most patient hitters year after year after year.
And does a very good imitation of D'Angelo Ortiz.
David's son imitating the stance, which is unique. And it is a fearless stance that Youkilis has right on top of the plate. He gets hit a lot. Seemingly ties himself in a knot.
And that right hand sliding up the bat and sliding back down into hitting position. How does he hit the inside fastball? With consistency.
And he rips one into left on a pitch inside. And he's on with 2 out here in the top of the 7th.
And that's one of the marvels, Joe. I mean, guys around the game say, how in the world can you point your bat at a pitcher and get around on something inside? He does it.
That'll bring in Paul Konerko. And as Konerko is announced, Jurgens will be lifted. He goes 1 inning, allows 1 hit in his 2nd inning, so 1 inning and 2/3. And Kimbrel's coming out of the pen here in the 7th. By DirecTV to get the best offer of the year. Call 1-800-DIRECTV. And it is another sprint call to the bullpen as Craig Kimbrel, a hard-throwing, busy right-hander with 28 saves, a rookie record at the break, comes into the game and deals inside ball 1 to Paul Konerko. A guy with 387 career home runs, 22 this year. His 15th season, he just flies under the radar and produces runs. Former Dodger. And he takes ball 2-0.
And speaking of flying, he said he was flying west. He was either going to Del Mar, where he lives, or to Phoenix. Very happy to be in his hometown.
On a high 97-mile-per-hour fastball to count 2-1. He was trying to hit an all-star game home run.
Well, in talking to a few of the White Sox folks, they've told me that Paul Konerko, even when he makes an out this year, it's either been hard or he's been right on everything. And he was right on that foul ball. Just fouled it back.
That one just blown by him by Kimbrel, 98. 2-2. Braves have another lefty, Johnny Venters, to finish games. That's a good combination. 98 again.
Bruce Bochy telling us it was very difficult to leave Tommy Hanson, the fine starter for the Braves, off the All-Star team. I mean, how can you ignore it's either Kimbrel or Hanson? And Kimbrel, even though he's a short reliever, has averaged almost 15 strikeouts per 9 innings.
And he overthrows one there as it misses down and away, and the count is full. That means Youkilis will go at first. Konerko now. It is Howie Kendrick on deck. There are the numbers. And just outside to put 2 on with 2 out, and Howie Kendrick will represent the tying run.
Second baseman Howie Kendrick.
A .296 career hitter is Kendrick. Got a short swing and a guy who can hit anywhere in the lineup. Batting in the 8th spot. And taking over, but low ball 1.
Howie came up as a second baseman for Mike Scioscia with the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Since then, he has moved around to 4 other positions.
And he has played in those spots. First, second, third, left, center. The 1-1. Lays off the breaking ball. Ball 2. With home field advantage in the World Series on the line, the count evens at 2. Another Brave, Johnny Venters. Getting loose. And that is foul. Wieters is on deck. Matt Wieters, the switch hitting catcher for the Baltimore Orioles. Right now it's Kendrick in a 2-2 count. Breaking ball foul. Euclid, the lead man at second. Konerko battled for a walk. Kendrick could tie it with 1 swing. Instead, he chops to Phillips. Tough play. Good pickup. And the inning is over. So now, I'll give you a game summary. Adrian Gonzalez, the first hit was a home run. The first in the All-Star game since 2008, back in the 4th, but in the bottom half, Prince Fielder a 3-run shot. And the last time the NL won 2 straight was back in the mid-90s. They won last year in Anaheim. And right now, let's join public address announcer Chuck Drago for the introduction of God Bless America.
And now to honor America with the singing of God Bless America, please welcome Grammy Award winner and Sedona, Arizona native, Michelle Branch.
God bless America, land that I love, stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above, from the mountains to the prairies to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, my home sweet home.
Stupid Love in theaters July 29th. By Ford, Drive One. And by the official partner of Major League Baseball road trips, Holiday Inn. Stay you. Michael Kadire takes over at first. Defensively, Michael Young takes over at third. He can play anywhere and has. And Brandon League is the new pitcher, the closer for Seattle. Had a good splitter. And he just shows a good fastball at 97.
How's your scorecard doing?
It's I'm running out of ink. And I know this. Ron Washington of the AL has one position player left.
Yeah.
And they count 1-1 now on Hunter Pence. His only position player left is Russell Martin, who catches and can also play some corner infield. And that's strike two. Word is Miguel Cabrera left this game with an injury. We'll try and get a report as to what exactly and how serious. It is a strained left side and a base hit for Hunter Pence. So that's why Cabrera is out now with an injury. There is one designated player that can come back into the game already out. That player, however, is Michael Young, who's in the game right now. You can also do that at the catcher's position, which is a rule change from a couple of years ago. Here is Starlin Castro. His first at bat. Only 21 years old, and when you start to look at his numbers, Tim, comparing him to some of the all-time greats at short, offensively he holds his own with anybody.
He really does. Over 300 last year for the Cubs. One of the few really bright spots for the Cubs' future. Cubs really struggling big time this year.
The count 0-2.
Here are the greats that Joe was talking about. Ernie Banks broke in as a shortstop. Robin Yount before he moved to center. Cal Ripken Jr. before he moved to third. Derek Jeter, of course, and A-Rod.
And then look at the numbers for Castro and where they rank. They're right there. And a strikeout from Brandon League as Alexi Ogando gets loose. 1 on, 1 out. And the batter will be, for the first time tonight, Pablo Sandoval. First time All-Star is Sandoval, who missed about a month with a broken hamate bone in his right hand. Switch hitter, third baseman, former catcher, and in much better shape than a year ago. You can see he's got a good swing. He fouls a 98-mile-per-hour pitch back, strike one. Phillips on deck.
The Panda, tremendously popular in San Francisco. Fans love him.
Here's the 0-1. And that ball gets away from Wieters. That sends Pence down to second, and now all the way over to third. Wieters was crossed up. Pretty good pitch from League, and it got away from the young catcher.
Watch him stand up. And see, Wieters either was crossed up or he had to cross over to make that play. Couldn't find the ball immediately. And you could see Sandoval waving Hunter Pence around to third base, and now the American League will have to bring their infield in again.
It is a pass ball on Wieters. Infield is in. Easier RBI chance for Sandoval. been a hot hitter. He's hitting 25 of the 26 games he's played in since coming off the DL on June 14th.
I'll tell you, Joe, it's unusual that there aren't more pass balls in all-star games because catchers are used to hitting against pitchers and not catching them.
There's a 2-1. Low. Ball 3. Sandoval is consistent from both sides of the plate. In 09, when he was only 22, he hit .330. 25 homers, 90 RBIs, but got out of shape. Has worked his way back into shape, and that's strike 2. He'll be 25 next month. A big piece of the puzzle for his manager, Bruce Bochy. And the NL West leading Giants and the reigning world champs. That's down the left field line. And makes it 5-1. Ground rule double for Pablo Sandoval. And the NL has its biggest lead of the night.
Think they're not happy in the Bay Area now? That pitch down and away. Sandoval hits as many balls for base hits as he does strikes. Perhaps the freest swinger in the National League. Doubles down the left field line to make it 5-1. That was a two-seam fastball from Lee. And Sandoval with a double.
Brings in the Twitter king of Major League Baseball, Brandon Phillips. And by the way, a really good player. As League misses low, ball 1. Some of the things that Phillips has done with Twitter, showing up at a kid's Little League game, giving away prizes and bringing fans on trips. Former Cleveland Indian, and he has fun with this game. And that's foul. Strike 1. Two-time Gold Glove Award winner. He's got pop. And he has had a 30-30 season. Back in 07, 30 home runs, 32 steals. Here comes a 1-1. And a fly ball into center will send Ellsbury back to field. 2 out. Baseball greats are coming together to kick off the Pepsi Max Field of Dreams promotion, where you and your friends could win a chance to play ball with MLB legends. Visit Pepsi Max Field of Dreams online to enter today. Remember, if you build it, they will come. And now Gabby Sanchez will come off the bench and bat for Ethier, who was 1 for 1 with an RBI single. This is the DH spot in the lineup for the NL. The best hitter in this game that few have heard of, Gabby Sanchez, and that's strike 1.
So many connections. Gabby Sanchez, a teammate of Chris Perez at the University of Miami, and also Ryan Braun. All 3 members of the Hurricane baseball team.
As Gio Gonzalez gets loose. Here's 0-1. Wieters again kind of getting up out of his crouch. The count 1-1.
Even though you know what's coming, it's very difficult for ball movement. I mean, after all, Wieters has never caught league before.
Here's a 1-1. And a little flare out to second. Caught by Kendrick. And that sends this game into the 8th. AL coming up. They now trail by 4. the Valley of the Sun. And the champ, 69 years old, Muhammad Ali, at the park with us tonight. And Johnny Venters is in the game. Wieters, the switch hitter, first pitch swinging, one out. Well, the NL prior to last year hadn't won since 1996. As we welcome you inside our broadcast booth, and we're trying to make it 2 in a row.
Yeah, well, your opening remarks tonight with all the guys that are missing, including 2 of the best pitchers in the game, Justin Verlander and CC Sabathia, I think indicative of how this game has gone thus far.
And the starters for the National League did a very good job. Cliff Lee did give up the home run to Gonzalez, but other than that, it has been shutdown work from Bruce Bochy's pitching staff. Now he's in the area with the short relievers, and you got Kimbrel. Correa, Hanrahan, Bell, and Wilson. And there's Heath Bell getting ready with 2 out. And that is it for Johnny Venters. He did his job. Chevrolet proudly supports the great game of baseball at all levels. You can see how they're making kids' baseball dreams come true across the USA at ChevyBaseball.com. Venters, quick in, good work. Heath Bell coming in with Johnny Peralta coming up. You think he's having any fun? Let's take a break. Bell coming into this game. And how about Phil Jakes, our camera operator behind him, trying to chase him. Nobody wanted to get in front of him. And if Bell can catch his breath. Here we go. Here we go, Phil.
I don't blame you, Phil.
I That stuff's not light.
No.
He told us he was coming into this game and throwing all fastballs. And his 100-yard dash at 10.2. Then he did a slide. So out of breath they may have to take him out. Here is a 2-0. There's a breaking ball. He lied, and it's 3-1, 3-0.
Keith Bell told us on Saturday before the Dodger-Padre game that he did all his running before the game. Well, in the All-Star game, he's doing it during the game.
93 to make it 3-1. Peralta is 0 for 1. Fly to right his first time, has plenty of power. Shortstop for the Tigers, and he pops it up. And Phillips hauls it in. Keith Bell's all over the place. He goes 1/3. After this, what a beauty. Bottom of the 8th, NL batting up by 4. Rangers last season. Now a starter. Deals to Andrew McCutchen, who fouls it back, strike 1. McCutchen, another 5-tool player. He can do it all. His eye is getting better and better at the plate, and part of what is now an exciting Pirates team. They have played before 10 sellout crowds at PNC Park, and they're only a game out of first place behind Milwaukee and St. Louis. And a check swing. Ogando flips it 1 out. How about we check in with a guy who had a lot of fun so far tonight, Heath Bell with Eric Karros.
Heath, was that your quickest time into the mound?
It might have been, definitely.
And the slide, how come we're not ahead first?
Well, it's one of those things you kind of created in San Diego in the bullpen, some of the guys out there, and from Angels in the outfield, do something kind of funny and have fun with it. And the thing is, I was running in, and Boch's speech beforehand, but this game really counts, and to win the home field advantage. So I kind of figured not to do it, but like I talked to Sandoval and a couple of guys, asked them if it would be a good idea, and I ran out, and I was not going to plan to do it. And as soon as I got in the infield, they all scooted away, and I was like, well, I kind of have to now, so I kind of slid.
Well, hey, one other thing. You told Joe you were throwing all fastballs. What happened? I saw a curveball.
That was just a really fast ball with a cut on it. It just happened where I threw 2 balls, and usually I throw a curveball to get back in the count. Apparently it wasn't a strike, but I thought it was.
Joe, he wanted to throw all fastballs.
God love him. As Votto grounds out to third, 2 out. We had a chance to spend some time with Heath on Saturday at Dodger Stadium, and if he does leave the Padres, somebody is going to get not only a good closer, but somebody who has a lot of fun.
Talk about a guy who's loose going down a division race in August and September. Heath Bell could not make it with the Mets back in 04. Here he is with the Padres, one of the top relievers in the game.
Jay Bruce is announced as the pinch hitter for Yadier Molina. And Gio Gonzalez is going to come into the game as we play in the 8th here in Phoenix, and they're up by 4. Umpire.
I'll tell you what. Seriously. Seriously.
And Gio Gonzalez hits the outside corner for a strike to Jay Bruce, who hangs in well against left-handed pitching. The best of that good young rotation for the A's. Gonzalez misses down and away in the count 1-1. 5th in the AL with that good ERA. Bounced around in the minor leagues, but it has come together with Oakland. No swing on the part of Jay Bruce. Charlie Manuel, the manager of the Phillies, and a really good ML hitting instructor in years past, said we just played a series against the Reds, that Jay Bruce has no idea how good he can be.
Charlie saying that from the hitting area, that 2 feet right through the hitting zone, he's as quick as anybody in the major leagues. And those are his words, that Jay Bruce does not know how good he's going to be.
And when you get that from somebody like Charlie Manuel, that means something.
He knows the art of hitting about as well as anybody. And interestingly, he's got the best pitching staff in baseball.
Here is a 2-1, and they're looking for offense maybe.
Yeah.
Before the trading deadline. Count 2-2 on Jay Bruce. For the AL in the 9th, it'll be the middle of their order. Tonight's Lexus Engineering amazing accomplishments. We look at the ballpark here in Phoenix. Retractable roof closes in 5 minutes. The inside temperature can be reduced by 30 degrees in 3 hours. And of course, out in right center, there's a pool. If there was ever a case for a roof and an enclosed stadium, this is it.
You got it.
It's been over 100 here in Phoenix.
We understand it was 119 or 118 last Monday. That's hot.
Miguel Montero takes over behind the plate. Jay Bruce, who made the final out in the bottom of the 8th, is in right, and here is the closer. Perfect for the Pirates, Joel Hanrahan. 26 for 26. That's on the outside corner as he shows off 97 miles per hour. And the count 1-2 on Michael Young. First at bat for Young. And now the 1-2. Still 1-2.
Joe, you hear that term a lot, how, as you look at Brian Wilson, who may be in this inning, do you hear that term about how a player's unselfish? The game of baseball was made to be selfish. Pete Rose used to say you've got to be greedy to be a good hitter. Well, this guy at the plate now is the most team-oriented player I have ever met in my experience.
And he went around one way.
And he's still that way. He went from second base to shortstop to third base to the designated hitter to help the Texas Rangers win. You hear that a lot. But some guys are just saying it because they want you to hear it. They don't mean it. But that guy means it. And one of the terrific people in the game, Michael Young.
Now with one out, here's Carlos Quentin. Rangers made the deal, brought Mike Napoli into DH, and even Michael Young had his limits. Former batting champ and one of the best hitters even in this game.
MVP back in 2006.
Quentin at the plate. He fouled out his first time. Man, he takes outside a ball and a strike. On the mound is Hanrahan, who has late movement, a great slider. 29 years old. He's cut down on his walks, and he has 26 saves and 26 tries. And the bottom falls out of that pitch. Strike two.
Durable too. He had 72 appearances for the Pirates last year. You don't often see that many from your closer.
He has Quentin set up at 1-2. And a ground ball to short for Castro. Low and an error. For Starlin Castro, that's an error, and defense has been an issue for Castro, the 21-year-old, as he throws it into the dirt. Votto couldn't dig it out.
Yeah, that's the one part of Starlin Castro's game that must be improved, particularly the position he plays. The most important position in the field. Shortstop.
He's made 18 errors during the first half of the season.
Made 27 last year, his rookie year.
So he is ahead of that pace. Batter now is Matt Joyce. 98 from Hanrahan, and that's ball one. For Hanrahan, the third most saves at the All-Star break without a blown save since saves became an official stat in 1969. Only Gagne with 31, Eric Gagne in 2003, and the great Dennis Eckersley with 30 back in 92. Here is a 1-1. Now 2-1. After Joyce, it's Kadire. Matt Joyce, a player that Tampa Bay got from Detroit. And he takes ball 3, 3-1.
You talked about the job Joe Madden was doing down in Tampa Bay. That's one of our games this Saturday. The Boston Red Sox visiting the Tampa Bay Rays.
Here is a 3-1. And ripped into right, a base hit. They will hold Quentin at second, rather third, and now the ball gets away. And that allows Joyce to go down to second. Hanrahan throws it away, but Votto has it. And that was an all-star game, ugly play defensively after the throw got away.
We did a commercial earlier for Moneyball What the National League just played was not money ball.
No.
That ball going out all over the place.
All over the place. And the base hit ends the night for Hanrahan. And the man with the 1-year-old beard is coming in. Here comes the very unique Brian Wilson. 2 on, 1 out, and now up by 4. Brian Wilson with exactly 364 days of growth from his appearance last year in Anaheim. Michael Cuddyer at the plate and a fly ball into right. Quentin tags up at third and does not come to the plate as Jay Bruce, who got the error on that previous play. The ball hit by Matt Joyce shows off a strong arm, 2 out. In case you ever wondered what Brian Wilson looks like underneath that beard that's been growing for a year, that's him last year at the All-Star game on the left.
Talk about unique. When he was growing up, he spent 1 summer straightening gravestones, which is an interesting occupation.
Somebody's got to do it. And here is Konerko. Guy with 387 career home runs could make it a 1-run game. Strike 1. Brian Wilson, who showed up on the George Lopez show dressed as an old sea captain, marches to the beat of his own drum. Here's the 0-1. Wicked pitch, and it's 0-2.
The beat of that last drum is why he's one of the best short relievers in the game. That slider away, unhittable.
Former 24th round pick of the Giants. Got the final out of last year's World Series in Arlington. Montero missed it behind the plate. It's called outside, ball 1. Wilson's got the velocity, got a great cutter, and has seemingly the ideal makeup to be a closer in the big leagues. NL trying to make it 2 wins in a row in the All-Star game. Ball 2. This is a save chance for Brian Wilson, since the tying run is in the on-deck circle with Howie Kendrick. Still 2-2. Clippard would get the win. The loss would go to C.J. Wilson. Funny thing about baseball, Clippard would get the win, and he came in and against the only man he faced, gave up a base hit. The inning ended on an out at the plate. Here's a 2-2. Well, that ended. Castro. That is it. NL wins it 5-1.
That cross-arm tribute by Brian Wilson. San Francisco Giant fans are used to seeing that when he saves a game. That is meant as a tribute to his father.
And so Wilson ends it. Roy Halladay started it. And Prince Fielder is all smiles because he had the biggest swing of the night. A 2-hour, 50-minute game. And the NL, for the second consecutive year, clinches home field advantage in the upcoming World Series. Brian Wilson's Giants are in first place in the NL West at the break. And tonight's game-changing play is brought to you by the official partner of Major League Baseball road trips. Holiday Inn. Stay you. And this one almost stayed in the park, but off the top of the wall and out for a 3-run shot in the fourth. And let's go down to Ken Rosenthal. Ken?
Thanks, Joe. Brandon Phillips, back-to-back wins by the National League for the first time since the mid-90s.
Wow.
Is this a new era?
Yes, it is. I think it's because I'm on the team. No, it's just you know, it feels good, man. Now it's time for us the Reds get back to the regular season, and hopefully that we got home field advantage now right now for the World Series. So it's a beautiful thing, man. Just being a part of this, especially last year breaking the streak and everything, and I'm just happy to be a part of it.
You see a lot of Prince Fielder in the NL Central. Right. What did you think tonight?
I mean, hey, he's MVP, man. I mean, he's the MVP of this game, and I feel like he's having a great year. He could be MVP of the National League, period. I love the guy, and you know, I just hate that he does damage against the Reds all season. But, you know, I'm happy that he came through for us today.
Brandon, thank you very much. Joe, back to you.
All right, thank you, Ken Rosenthal. Congratulations to not just Brandon Phillips, but Prince Fielder, who we heard from earlier in the night. There is your final 5-1. NL wins, and they have home field advantage in the upcoming World Series. There's that big swing. There's that big first baseman, Prince Fielder. We'll be back with a Chevy postgame show after a word from your local Fox station. All-Star post-game show on Fox. And after this 5-1 win, we go down to the field level and check in with Eric Karros.
Your third All-Star game, but the first appearance for the Beard. How'd the Beard do?
I think he did okay.
Well, the
first 1-2 inning.
It was nice. It was a short inning for you. What'd you think about Heath Bell running in and sliding?
I think he nailed it. You know, I was talking to Correa out there in the bullpen. If I were to do that, I don't know if I'd make it. I think I'd slip, ankle, flip. Next thing you know, I can't pitch, and then just a debacle. But, yeah, he nailed it.
Would you think about a head first?
I don't think I've ever attempted a head first slide, and I don't think this is the kind of stage that I'd want to do that on.
So home field advantage for the National League benefited you guys last year. You ready to get in the postseason again this year?
Exactly. It was tremendous for McCann to get that hit last year, and it really is beneficial to have those first 2 home games in front of your home crowd to really get going in the series.
Like I said, third All-Star game. Does it ever get old?
No, it doesn't. And I must say, you have immaculate hair right now. Let's get a shot of that.
Not quite as good as the Beard, but Brian Wilson, another save, one of the dominant relievers. Thanks.
All right, Eric. Thanks, Brian. Man, he is a piece of work. We'll come back and continue on the Chevrolet All-Star Game post-game show for the MVP award after this. Game show on Fox is sponsored by Chevrolet, the official vehicle of Major League Baseball and the 82nd All-Star Game. And let's go down to the field. Here's Chris Rose.
All right, Joe, thank you very much. It's time right now for the presentation of the Ted Williams All-Star Game MVP Award presented by Chevrolet. And for that, I turn it over to the Commissioner of Baseball, Mr. Bud Selig.
Thank you, Chris. It's an honor for me to announce that the 2011 Ted Williams All-Star Game Most Valuable Player Award presented by Chevrolet is Prince Fielder of the Milwaukee Brewers. And Prince, you've become the first Brewer to ever be selected MVP of the Midsummer Classic, and your 3-run home run led the National League to its second consecutive All-Star Game victory and home field advantage in the 2011 World Series. Congratulations, Prince. I'd like to now introduce Kevin Mayer of Chevrolet. Kevin.
Thank you, Commissioner. Prince, on behalf of Chevrolet and our 3,000 dealers across the country, we want to congratulate you on winning tonight's MVP. As part of our commitment to sponsor and bring growth to the baseball, we'd like to present to you with a check. Now, this check is symbolic to something we want to do in your market in Milwaukee. We'd like to build for you a renovated youth baseball field in your name in that town. Congratulations. So tonight, you can be proud to know that what you've done here has a lasting impact in the town of Milwaukee and for youth baseball and future All-Stars. So congratulations.
Prince Fielder, you've got your young sons here, Haven and Jaden, and you're going to have to win another All-Star Game MVP award because it looks like somebody doesn't want to share the bat right now.
Yeah, hopefully he doesn't go playing with it and stuff, so I got to put it up when I get home.
Now, that 3-run shot not only gives you the first Brewer to become the All-Star Game MVP winner, but also it is the first home run hit ever by a Milwaukee Brewer in this game. Pretty impressive stuff.
Yeah, I just found that out now, so yeah, it's real cool. I'm happy I was able to be here, and I'm glad my kids are here with me too, and my wife. It's been a great time.
All right, well, congratulations on winning the MVP. Best of luck to the Milwaukee Brewers in the second half. You want to show us your pop swing real quick? Let's see it. Let's see it. One more time. Oh, he's giving it a no. He's still got the best hair in America. Let's send it back on up to Joe Buck. Joe?
All right, thank you very much, Chris, and congratulations to the National League and in particular Prince Fielder, tonight's All-Star Game MVP. the Chevrolet All-Star post-game show on Fox. And again, the final score with the NL winning it by 4, 5-1. The NL again has home field advantage in the upcoming World Series. And now welcome inside our broadcast booth for the final time. We came on the air talking about how pitching dominates this game, and it did for the NL again here tonight.
Yeah, I think the extra NL starters, particularly early, even though Cliff Lee gave up the run, but Halladay was terrific, 6 in a row. And I thought this All-Star game struck the right chord of fun and serious play. 3-run home run by by Prince Fielder. Freudian slip there, that's his dad. And the fine defensive play by Hunter Pence. Great pitching throughout by the National League.
And then you get the fun by the bullpen guys, Brian Wilson and Heath Bell, sprinting in and sliding once he crossed the infield dirt.
Yeah.
So as you look at what the NL has done pitching-wise over the last 2 All-Star games, it's impressive. Because when you think about the AL lineup last year and tonight, this is what the NL pitching has done the last 2 All-Star games. With a combined 15 hits during this All-Star game, Holiday Inn and Major League Baseball will donate a total of $15,000 to reviving baseball in the inner cities. Holiday Inn is a proud sponsor of MLB and the official partner of Road Trips. We'll take one final break. Come back here to Phoenix, Valley of the Sun. Hot outside. Sun has set. Cool inside. For the NL won at 5-1. Back after this. Welcome to the Chevrolet All-Star postgame show on Fox. Once again, our final score, 5-1. NL wins it for the second straight year. First time they've done that since the mid-90s. Coming up, except on the West Coast, it's your late local news. And then our producer, Pete Macheska, director, Billy Webb, remind me that this week on Fox Saturday Baseball, the Phillies take on the Mets, the Rays and Red Sox, White Sox, Tigers, or the Angels and A's. Coverage begins, as it will each of the next 11 Saturdays on Fox at 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific. Promotional consideration paid for by the following. And for more information on tonight's game and the latest in MLB news, log on to foxsports.com, powered by MSN. For Tim McCarver and all of our crew, Joe Buck, so long from Phoenix. And the 82nd MLB All-Star Game, NL wins it. One Republic will take us out